Hey gals and guys, it's Phil Larson, and this is your motivational high five on commitment. Let's do this. Commitment is a hard thing for me. Back on episode 0, I talked about how being in relationship is scary and how jumping into the commitment, and that's what commitment feels like. It feels like jumping into something because it's scary, and jumping into the commitment with my wife when we first started dating was scary for me. And it got to the point in our relationship where she asked for me to commit, and I had to give up a little bit of control and fear to do that. Often when I feel stuck in deciding whether or not I'm going to commit to something, I'm stuck because oftentimes it is something that's good, but I know that it's going to involve a lot of time and effort. And I let fear get in the way. Fear becomes the biggest enemy. The time and effort thing, I just think, well, I'm going to fail. I'm not going to be able to put in the time and effort to make this thing succeed. And for me, that becomes kind of this out. And in response to this fear of commitment is actually, for me, indecision. It's putting things off long enough until they actually do become a decision, because I don't decide whether or not I'm going to do it, which is deciding. Recently I was asked to perform a speaking gig. And when I thought about it, I go, that would be a really good thing to do. But it scared me, and for a long time, I didn't respond back to the request to do it. I probably spent a couple weeks. It was before a long holiday break, and I was like, I just don't know if I have the time and effort to do it. And I just said, you know what, I'm going to commit to it. And when I get back, I'll make the time and effort to do it. And what I found was, man, it was a really good thing to do, and I'm glad that I did it. There's a great video that has gone viral online of this kid who is taking their first ski jump. And I don't know if anything that in the Winter Olympics that would scare me more. And ski jumping is involving giving up control. And man, commitment, that's commitment. Commitment involves giving up control. And so this kid is at the top of the ski jump, and it's their first time ever doing something like this. And you can hear the fear, you can hear the trembling, but the best part is right before this kid decides to make the commitment to do it. They say, "Here I go." The first two words, "here" and "I," you hear a little bit of trembling, a little uncertainty, some fear. But there's something different in the word "go" that really exudes commitment. And this kid decides, I'm going to give up control, I'm going to focus in, and I'm going to go. And I hope that you guys are struggling with something that maybe could be really positive and you're a little reluctant to commit to out of fear, but I want you to push through it. I want you to say, I'm just going to get this rolling. I am going to commit to this. And whether or not it ends up well or not, the reality is I'm going to grow from it. And that's the ultimate goal. From the moment you've committed till the moment you finish the thing you've committed to, things feel uncertain. They do. They just do. And you may land after you do the thing real smoothly, and good for you. And you may tumble, and you know what? That's okay too, because it's an experience you've never had before. You've pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone. You've been stretched, and in hindsight, after the dust has settled, you see whether or not the result was good or not, how you've grown. So I'm going to ask you to repeat this mantra. I'm going to ask you to find a reflection of yourself now or sometime today, and look at yourself and dig deep. Look into yourself and bring up the thing that maybe you are struggling with commitment, or a resolution to commit to things better. And I want you to say this thing to yourself as you look at the reflection of yourself. I will jump into commitment for the sake of self-growth. And again, it's going to involve giving up control, but you're going to be all right. You're going to make it. And by the end of it, you'll have this experience that'll give you the wisdom to look back on it and say, you know what? I wish I would have done things differently, but now I know I would have done things differently. Or that was a really good thing. That was worthwhile. Guys, take the leap. Be strong. You can do it. It's got to start with you.